Okay, what's up guys? Vesper here, and I'm here with Killy. We're going to do another podcast because, like I said, it saves me so much time. We're just back from LA, back from E3, and man, it's been a crazy week. What
Yes,
say
it
you,
has.
Killy? What
It was
say
absolutely
you?
crazy.
So, basically, we're going to try to make this video short, okay? Like, honestly, we're trying to make it short, maybe like less than a half an hour. So, we'll go by this quick. I know you guys want to hear early impressions about Street Fighter 5, but I might mention some stuff that happened when we're in LA as well. First off, man, damn, it's hot in LA, dude. Like, at least for Canadians it is. Like, oh my god, man, as soon as we stepped out of the airport, you could just smell the humidity in the air, dude. Like, my fingertips were like, you could just feel the moisture outside. It was, I can't take it, dude. It was too much for me. But you travel more than me, Killer, so it's all good. And damn, man, our hotel Wi-Fi was shit.
So hurting.
It was brutal. Like, seriously, everyone in that hotel must have been downloading something, man, because, like, I wanted to, do some tweets and, check out some of the stream footage because, we're there, so we can't see the stream footage of all the Street Fighter 5 stuff and the other things, too, like, Final Fantasy Remake and all that kind of stuff. And the Wi-Fi was just so shit, we couldn't do it, man. It was pretty hurting. What else, man? Oh, yeah, so the first day we lined up for E3. What time did we get there at? The conference? It was like 8 a.m. or something?
Yeah, because we had to pick up our badges first, because we flew out on the Monday, and we arrived Monday night, so we had to get our badges in the morning, and we figured there'd be a long lineup, so...
We figured.
Yeah, so we went there early, before 8 o'clock in the morning.
Like, what time did it open up that day? It was like noon, right? Right at 12?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it opened up at 12, and we walked in there at 8 a.m. It was like, oh, man, it was insane. And we got our badges right away. There was, like, no lineup. We just went and picked up our badges. So we're like, oh, wow, now we got 4 hours to kill. So we're right in the front of the line. Justin and L.I. Joe were there, right in the front. So all of us were in the front. So we're like, oh, wow, we're going to get into that single tournament. 8-man tournament. We have a chance to win a PS4, and and then as time went by, like after like 3 hours, when there was like 1 hour left, that's when everyone started storming in. Okay, and the way they organized the lineups for E3 was so shit. There was no rope, nothing. Okay, it was pretty much like a bunch of people crowding in front of escalators. Okay, so there's like 3 escalators right in the middle, and then basically what happened is there was kind of a line forming, like 2 lines from 2 different angles, and then on the last 10 minutes, I'm not even joking, people were getting caught in the line. They were lined up there for 4 hours, including us, and they were getting like bum rushed by all these people coming from the sides. There's literally people that just walked in on the last minute. They're like, hey, sweet, man, let's just bud the whole line. So they just literally all caved in. Just imagine a crowd of people caving in to 3 escalators, and everyone got caught. It sucked, dude. Needless to say, we did not enter the tournament because we couldn't get there in time. It was just too much of a bum rush, so that was pretty hurting. But anyways, let's talk about Street Fighter 5, man. So, let's ask you first, Killy. What is your early impression of Street Fighter 5?
I think the foundation of SF5 is really good right now. It's taken away everything I don't like about SF4, minus like maybe mash DP and reversal windows being big. But honestly, you don't notice it too much because of block stun, as well as like no hard knockdowns in the game.
Well, there is hard knockdowns, but
only off of supers.
Yeah, and throws too, right?
No.
Oh, you can recover on the spot for throws.
Yeah,
right?
But you can only quick wire straight up. But we'll talk about that in a different.
Yeah,
video,
we'll do that. In another
you'll
video.
go over it. But the game's fast paced. Everyone who says it's slow, you need to play the game for yourself. The pacing of the game is fast paced.
Whoa, hold up here. When you say pace, what do you mean by pace? Do you mean pace as in the duration of the rounds of the matches themselves?
The flow of the match is fast paced.
Why?
High damage.
It's hard for you, man.
Okay, high damage output. Dashes are good in this game.
Yes, they are. They are.
It focuses more on the close range game than the full screen game. Like zoning isn't as good full screen. If you want to zone, you got to do it mid to close range. But that opens you up to anti-fireball tactics as well as jump-ins. But everything is played at like a much closer range than SF4.
So far, you're quite satisfied with what you've seen.
Yeah, it's very fundamental based, very
Yes.
footsie, heavy footsie based game. It really rewards skill.
Hmm.
Pressure has to be respected. You can't backdash out. You can't just reversal out all the time. Like you have to respect that pressure game. Not much Oki, but it's okay. I think with the damage output being high, you don't want Oki to be strong. So overall,
Yeah,
like
because if the Oki, if there is like strong Oki, if you guys don't know what we're talking about like the wake up game. So the whole knock the opponent down and then he has to guess a 50-50 if you're gonna cross him up and you go for a mix up. If they kept that in the game, let's say the hard knockdowns or the knockdowns in general were really long like they are in Street Fighter 4. With damage output that high, you pretty much can only make 2 mistakes a round, I'd say, and then it'd be over. One clean jump in, jumping fierce, standing fierce, DP is like 40% health, gone.
yeah.
It's just, you're done. So I could definitely understand the philosophy behind that. So what do you think that you would want them to add to the game right now? What do you think it needs?
Uh,
Like, what would you add? Like, what do you want to improve on?
Add to the game or
Yeah, just anything.
modify to the game?
Anything, man. Anything to make it better.
I think modifying, I would make V reversals better
How
because
so?
right now they're really bad.
Mm.
Um,
Bad as in they're not worth the meter, damage, or just like
they're really
mechanic
easy
itself.
to block in
Mm.
time.
Like bait it.
Yeah, it's really easy to bait. I think throw range needs to be increased slightly because I think throw range is really short.
Yeah.
Walk speed needs to be adjusted slightly.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty. V trigger could use some fine tuning. Some
I
V
think they should make it a
triggers-
little bit more distinct.
Yeah,
Right now, it seems like Birdies and Cammy's especially is kind of plain Jane right now. I really like for example, Nash is very distinct, right? He's the
Yeah.
only one that's just a straight up activation.
Most unique.
Bison's is really robust too. There's a lot of different stuff that happens when Bison activates V trigger. Ryu's is okay just because it's Ryu, and Ryu is kind of like the middle ground kind of thing. I
Yeah.
think they should definitely add some stuff for Chun-Li. Especially from the footage we've seen from before. But yeah, they totally have time to tune that out and make the V-Trigger seem a little bit more amazing. Because a lot of people, like, it's not a comeback mechanic. Like, V-Trigger is not that powerful.
far from it.
Yeah, it's not a comeback mechanic at all. It's definitely not something you want to save either for the same reason. It's something you want to just activate as soon as you get it. If you see an opportunity to activate it, activate it. It's harder for some other characters like Birdie. It's hard for Birdie to activate it on the fly. But anyways, let me get back to the question. Ask myself my impressions of Street Fighter V before we move on here. My impressions are kind of biased because I don't like Street Fighter 4 in general. My favorite version of Street Fighter 4 is actually vanilla. So obviously I can appreciate the really high damage output right now. One of the main things that bugged me about Street Fighter 4 in general is because like when the game first came out, I really liked it, but as the meta came through with the amount of option selects and like the unblockable setups and all that stuff that came along, it really killed it for me, I guess. And now like without focus attacks in Street Fighter 5, it makes the game just so fundamental based. I love it for that reason. And yeah, I just really don't like focus attacks in general. So like I said, I'm kind of biased. Like it's not Street Fighter 4, so therefore I'm going to like it either way. But when I first got my hands on it, I thought it would feel like Street Fighter 4, but it took a long time. It was funny because like, we were the first people in line to play it. All of us, a bunch of us get onto the machine right away. And the first thing everyone starts doing is like trying to do chains into links. So we go like light punch, light punch, light punch, crushing medium kick with Ryu into fireball. And like nothing's working. We're like, what's going on here? And then it wasn't until we realized it's like the mediums is what you want to start off with. You can still special cancel from chains, but like it's most of the time it's the mediums where you get the nice combos. But damn, that damage output is high.
Yeah.
But I would agree with you on the walk speed. I think the walk speed definitely should be raised in general because it really does help that footsie game a lot, so you can weave in and out. I feel like they should definitely improve the throw range. If they do improve the throw range, then maybe, because right now you do not get counter hit on throw whiff. So if you do a throw whiff You don't get counter hit if they hit you. So maybe they can add some throw range and then add the counter hit, because I really feel like they got something going here with this counter crush system. That whole fatal counter thing with the extra stun. It's a lot shorter now than the previous footage. You really have to anticipate it and have an eye out for it, because you need to dash in and instantly punish. But I feel like they can make it a little longer, because honestly they've changed it now so it's only specific heavy versions of attacks for certain characters. Some characters have 2, some characters only have 1, and I feel like most of these normals are unsafe, and they've done that on purpose. The idea is that you're taking a risk to gain a huge, combo advantage, and I feel like the juice is not worth the squeeze quite yet. I think that it should be stunned just a little longer if you're leaving yourself open for an attack, and I think adding a throw range makes these attacks more scary, because right now, when like around day 3, people started getting used to the idea that the throw range is really shitty. Like, it's really short range, and people are not as scared of throws in general, and it was harder to land those kind of counter crush hits. But what was I gonna say about the throws? Oh yeah, so the crouch tech is gone, right? And first thing me and Killer want to figure out is why they're gone, right? So when you crouch and you do a throw, your character literally just starts whiffing a throw. So crouch tech technically is in the game. It's technically in the game. You will tech a throw if you are crouching and you press light punch and light kick at the same time. But it's just the fact that you won't do a short kick option select, so you can't.
That being said, though, Nerd Josh figured out a form of crouch tech by day 2, I think.
Yeah, but that stuff, okay, that's hard
really
to do.
Tight, though.
It's hard
really
to do, okay? And, like, that shit they'll fix for sure before the game releases anyways. You know what I mean? So it's like, discovering these option selects and things is just, they don't want option selects in, especially stuff to do with throws and teching and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. One thing I want to mention, though, is that when we were playing, like, just all 3 days, it really felt like back in the old arcade days when a new fighting game gets released.
Oh,
like,
dude.
People were trying to figure out stuff. We'd be spreading information. Like, one person figures out something, they do it. The guy asks next to you, he's like, "How'd you do that?" Or someone behind you, or someone who's watching, they're like, "How'd you do that?" You tell them, next thing you know, the information's spreading like wildfire. And it was just like such a throwback to the old arcade days. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
It was everything except for the stabbings and getting your hair lit by, by lighters. But yeah, like, you didn't have to, like, I tried giving seconds as much as I could. I was trying to be, as nice as I could to people. We had the camcorder and stuff. I'll talk about that later. But we're trying to be as respectful as possible, because we know people are trying to get their hands on the game. And the lineup on the first day was insane, man. And every cab, every machine. How many there were total? Like 12?
I think there were like 12 setups.
Yeah,
12 setups on the main floor. 1 stream station, and then like 4 in the VIP area.
Oh yeah, and then 2 on the side or whatever.
Yeah, there were quite a bit of setups, but like the lineups were insane on.
Yeah, they're insane, and every cab had like their own home rules. Some were winner stays, some were winner stays best out of 3, and then some was just like 1 game, and then both guys go off. I think it was better when both 2 guys go off. Yeah. And then the Capcom police started coming in and enforcing it and making sure people were getting off after 1 game, because it was just getting out of hand. And then like after day 2, we had like the big boy machine, you know what I mean, where all the pros were there, and we got some cool footage from there too. But yeah, I agree with you on Street Fighter V. I think the core game, like from the ground up, everything is perfect, and they just need to add things to the game now. Like the core structure of it is awesome, and overall the impression was really good, right? Like, Vi really liked it, man. Vi was,
I felt like the majority of old school players loved SF4. New school, they were enjoying it. There were some people that were a little bit iffy on it, because their first was like SF4, so they were like, not sure.
No, I kind of understand that. The reason I think that is why new school players are not as impressed is because they want something new. They want something more. And, you'd think Street Fighter V is supposed to add that, because Street Fighter 4 is supposed to be back to basics. But now it feels like Street Fighter V is back to basics. And V-Trigger is Capcom's way of adding the game and making it more deep. But I don't think it's stood out as much yet. I still think it needs some more improvement to make these characters more distinct from each other. But I think like right now, I think they're on like the right track here.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm really happy with Street Fighter 5 so far, man. Especially the damage output. It's so nice that when someone jumps in and you punch over jumping, they're like, man, we should really think about doing that again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy. Like when you do a DP trade with Ryu, like they don't even flip up in the air. It's just like Ryu just gets hit, and the character doesn't even like leave the floor. It's really interesting. Anything else you want to talk about impression-wise for Street Fighter 5?
No, personal impressions are good to go there. There were some players that were thinking that it kind of alienates them. Just kind of like I can see how Capcom is trying to cater to new school and also cater to the veterans. It seems like it caters more to the veterans. I mean,
Yes.
there's certain aspects that cater to new school players, but there were some that felt alienated by it. We talked to a few players, and they're like, oh, some parts of it seem very complicated and not easy to get into, stuff like that. So I was actually quite surprised by it. But when you think about it, it makes sense because it's so fundamental based, and the damage output being so high, it kind of works both ways. Damage output being high makes matches fast paced. So for the new school players, they're like, oh, matches keep going, right? It's just fast.
Yeah.
So they like it. But at the same time, getting outplayed so bad by a veteran player
Yes.
is really off-putting for the new school. Like
It
if
really
you get
is.
outplayed hard, like the damage output makes rounds last so short.
Yeah, so like I said, the comeback mechanic in this game, if it was V-Trigger, is not strong enough for a below average player to make a comeback. It's just not strong enough. Doesn't matter what character you're using. Maybe Birdie. But like Birdie needs 3 bars, man, and it's so hard for Birdie to just activate raw.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the damage output is so damn high that like an average player is gonna try to jump in to get his damage. Most average players need to jump in to get the damage, and the hit stun on jumping fierce attacks is like nothing. It feels like third strike. Like if you do a jumping fierce, you're not like plus 50 frames like you are in Street Fighter 4. You have to time it
deep.
Yeah, it feels like a link. Like you have to time it well, and so even then, and if you can't do your old jab jab jab, medium kick or whatever, confirms like most of the damage in this game is literally from sweep, getting hit by a standing fierce, an anti-air, a throw, things like that. It's really fundamental based, and if you don't understand that concept, which a lot of players don't, you're gonna get destroyed. And right now, I do not think this game caters towards below average players right now. Like it feels like super old school. Like if you understand it, you have a good understanding of a strong footsie game, you're gonna body people. What else was I thinking here? There's the counter hits too. Okay, so there's no ultra system, right? So supers are done with the EX meter exclusively now. So you're not going to get this every single round. Your EX meter builds really, really fast, but you're not.
You will get a full super once a round.
Yeah,
guaranteed. You get full super once a round.
But it's not to the extreme of like ultra, where you get like halfway through the
round.
And you can do your wake up ultra, every time. So like I said, yeah, I don't feel like it caters to below average players right now.
Yo, wake up supers are terrible in this game, man.
Like you can't expect to land like a level 2 focus and then go straight into ultra. That stuff just is gone. And they're still dizzy in the game, so people are gonna get destroyed. And the scaling is not that high in the game either. There's not too many long combos. Like Bison comes in mind of like a long combo. The scaling doesn't seem that bad. So that's pretty crazy, man. Okay, we gotta keep this video going because it's starting to get long. So let's get straight into the tier list. I want to cause some controversy.
Here we go.
Now, you guys will be like, hey, it's too early for a tier list. I was like, I don't give a shit. Let's just talk about a tier list anyways. I want to cause some controversy. So, best character in the game. Who is it?
Bison.
I agree. It's definitely Bison, man. Bison is retarded in Street Fighter 5.
After the new tech we found on day 3 with Bison and his
technically we didn't find it. We didn't figure
it, but we got sent on a wild goose hunt. That's a story in itself. We'll talk about later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end. But Bison, he's got good anti-air. His super is really flexible. It can be done in the air. It can be used as an anti-air. It can be comboed into. His movement is slow, but his pressure is amazing.
His normals are amazing.
The Hellfire is amazing. Scissors is amazing. You get so much pressure, so much meter. You can get him in the corner, and then his V-trigger is just insane. It's so good. Even the activation is good. It's like, you know, just he has 3 bars. You could just do it raw. Just what say you? You know what I mean? Like, you can do it whenever he wants. It's
He's so robust in this version. Like, he seems like complete package. Right?
Yeah, he feels really complete. Yeah, Bison is very, very strong in Street Fighter V.
Biggest comeback factor out of all the characters. More so than Birdie.
Extreme.
If people knew about the V-trigger stuff, he has the biggest comeback factor.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, second best character. I'm going to assume you're going to say between Cammy and Birdie.
Yeah, I think those two are on equal footing right now. After seeing what Cammy...
I should say Birdie.
Like, after seeing what RB, Tokido, and Fudo were doing with Birdie, as well as, like, how...
But they weren't confirming that drill into Super, though. They were missing some insane damage output.
The Cammy players, there was a lot that... there was some stuff we figured out that we didn't see the Cammy players were doing, like the out of the pro players.
Yes.
I think that for sure would have raised their damage output, their confirms, and, like, would have really solidified... Cammy's play in general.
Yeah, like we were trying to, like, we're getting information from the cabs. Sorry to interrupt you. We're getting information from the cabs, and we're trying to, like, tell everyone about this. You know, just like an arcade, like, we're just giving information. But at the same time, the Wi-Fi in our hotel was shit, because when we got back to the hotel, we're trying to watch a stream of the pros, because, you know, we didn't want to waste any time. We wanted to optimize as much Street Fighter V as possible within the 3 days that we had. So when we got back, we were watching the Cammy players, we're like, oh, they're missing this super opportunity left, right, and center here every time they activate. Sorry, I cut you off there. What were you saying?
No, just like, even V-trigger cancels. Like, there were some moments where they could punch so hard into a V-trigger cancel into...
V-cancel? Vesper cancel?
Yeah, V-cancel. So, like, Cammy's back fierce is so good. And then you go...
Oh my god.
Back fierce, V-trigger cancel, crouch forward, spiral arrow, super. And that's like 50% right there.
Yep.
Or more.
Forward roundhouse, back fierce. Yeah.
And if you don't have super, you just do the DP after spiral arrow, and that's still a lot of damage, like 40% or something like that.
Yeah, and then your V-trigger basically goes away.
And she can do that off of her forward roundhouse, too, so, like, that's a hit confirm right there. So there's so much you can do, but, like, yeah, there are times where they could have just punished so hard, and they just missed that opportunity. They didn't know about it, or the muscle memory didn't kick in, stuff like that.
I think, I feel that Birdie would be the second best character, just because Birdie seems to have a good time against Cammy. It seems like Birdie can deal with Cammy, and just that alone makes me say that is Birdie second. Birdie's got amazing normals.
Every single button
has like a use and a range, and it's great. His forward hard punch is awesome. It's got armor. They got, like, armor moves in this game now, and standing hard kick on the crush counter, and he's got the little dive that no one really does yet, where he goes under fireballs and stuff. The down forward hard punch, and man, his down medium punch is such a sick anti-air, even though it gets beat by Bison's jumping heavy punch.
Yeah.
Birdie's just amazing. He's got insane comeback factor.
Yeah, that jab combo.
Comeback factor.
That jab combo to the head.
Jab. That's it, man. Yeah, man. Remember, I found that combo when you activate your V-trigger, you could do the turn punch in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
And it does 2 hits when he has his V-trigger activated, so you can combo his super in the corner. I did something like, it was like, I held down jab, and then went jumping heavy, standing medium, let go the turn punch. 2 hits, and the super I did like 80%.
Like I think I got to record 70-80% damage. It was huge. It was insane.
Yeah, I got to record it. I'll upload it later. Yeah, Birdie's awesome. And I think a lot of people don't like his, like, how he looks. It's like, you know, it's like Birdie, you know, he just let himself go 500 something pounds kind of shit. But besides that, his design as a character
is so interesting.
Is amazing. Of all the characters, that character interested me the most, and I didn't think that, because, like, you know, Birdie's a very unpopular character, but Birdie was like, I wanted to play him all the time. His entire move list, everything is awesome. I think they did an amazing job on him.
He's very interesting in this version. Like, I didn't find him interesting at all in the Alpha series, but the way they handled him in SF4 or 5 makes them so interesting. And the animations are in the game in general are just beautiful.
Speaking of Street Fighter 4, that's what I feel is the closest character to that game, which is Cammy, which we're talking about. Cammy feels like the most Street Fighter 4-ish character just because she has so many confirms from chains into mediums, and just her general flow of her movement and all of her stuff. And like I said, the only thing I'm not happy about is Cammy's V trigger. It's just a little too plain Jane for me. But like I'll be doing some character breakdowns in the future here. But yeah, I think Cammy, you know, she's the like last character announced kind of thing. So like,
she seems incomplete though.
Like, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, she's incomplete.
Like all the characters, they have different animations for whiff, hit, block kind of thing on certain normals. Mostly they're heavies. Like if you watch Ryu's crouching roundhouse, when it's blocked, his leg stops right when they block. Yeah, but when Cammy does her sweep, her crouch roundhouse, she finishes the animation. Like she does the full turnaround and stuff like that. But every character that has like a sweep, it stops right at when they block. So little clues like that makes me feel like that Cammy is kind of incomplete.
Oh, for sure. The whole game's incomplete, man. But yeah, I totally agree with you. All right, let's keep moving. Okay, so we got Bison and then Birdie, Cammy tied. But I think Birdie's got a slight edge. Who is in the middle?
Ryu.
Such a fucking cliche, man.
Yeah.
I agree, though. Yeah, Ryu's right in the middle.
He could fluctuate higher. Like, the way Valle was playing Ryu was insane.
Valle got a hang of the game really fast.
Really fast. Daigo he felt like he was still playing SF4 Ryu. Like,
yeah, Daigo kind of like, yeah, he was playing it like the same as Street Fighter 4, but Valle like adapted. He was playing him like it was ST, I guess. Or maybe like some Alpha 1 styles. He was doing like really good like frame traps on me, and he was throwing my ass around. Like I was getting destroyed.
The way he uses his V skill, the way he uses his V trigger, like the way he was testing out V skill, V trigger stuff, insane, absolutely insane. Made that character look OP.
Yeah, I feel like Ryu's in the middle. The one thing about that character that doesn't make him too strong is that his V skill is not that good. I said before in the footage that I felt that his V skill was the strongest because of the parry potential. But after playing Ryu, I realized that the parry is not nearly as good as I thought it would be. The problem with his parry is not exactly a parry. It's exactly like Ryu in Omega Ryu, where when you do your parry with Ryu, and you activate it, you can only cancel it into another parry. You have to wait completely for the recovery to finish on the Ryu's V skill. So what I mean by that is, and this actually happened to me, is that let's say someone does low medium kick on you into super, and I parried the first hit, which was the low medium kick. Now the screen freezes and it's going to super. I can't even block the super because I can't cancel it into a block. So the only way to get out of that situation at that point is to parry the rest of the hits. I can only cancel the parry into another parry. So basically, let's say someone did a jump in on me, did a jumping hard kick, and I was Ryu, and then I use my V skill to parry. I parry his jump in, and then hopefully he doesn't recover enough time, and then I do the uppercut. It has to finish. That's why you can do like low short kick into uppercut, maybe, for example, and then hopefully their trip guard is gone or whatever. But yeah, it's just not nearly as good. On top of that, if you whiff it, you get a counter hit if you get hit, and that's insane punishment in this game.
Yeah.
So,
but you can tell they did that for design intent.
Oh yeah, of course. Otherwise, it'd be insane. Yeah.
His parry, you can do it as a reversal, and you can also just press it, and it does high-low without a directional input.
High-low and left and right. Yeah.
And it blocks and it parries cross-ups. It would have been way too good if you could special cancel right afterwards. It'd been OP.
Like so one thing it's perfect for is like if someone throws like an EX fireball on you on 2 hits and you parry both hits, that's an insane amount of meter.
Yeah, I think that's one V gauge stock right there.
Yeah, like boom boom. So you gotta really respect that parry, but it's not used in a way that like if you completely anticipate everything the opponent's doing, you're not gonna punish them for everything just because of the recovery animation.
Yeah. So lights will blow up his parry.
Okay, let's move on. So Ryu's in the middle, so we're gonna talk about the last 2 characters. Let's talk about the worst character.
The very worst character?
The second
worst character?
The worst character.
Okay.
Out of the 6.
Okay.
I think it's Chun-Li.
I think it's Nash, but I can sort of agree on Chun being the worst.
I feel like Chun-Li is exactly like Birdie, where she has amazing normals, but she doesn't have the damage output as Birdie or the health to back it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plus her V skill is very plain Jane. It's powerful. And when I say she's the worst character, guys, I don't mean like she sucks. I just mean compared to the rest of the cast. I hope you guys understand that. Like she's hard to play too, man.
Yeah,
she's hard to play.
I think there is some untapped potential of Chun-Li, but she's really technical.
She definitely has like exclusive combos when she activates her V trigger. I just didn't have enough time to practice it and figure it out. But she's adding all her hits to her normals, right? One additional hit for her mediums and 2 additional hits for her heavies, and it'll do things like, for example, her slide with crouching medium punch. It'll become safer at closer distances because it tacks on those extra hits and puts the opponent in a longer block stun. And therefore, you're able to do combos that you otherwise couldn't do because of the longer hit stun when you do land those hits. And you gain more meter, you do more chip damage, etc. Just Chun-Li's movement speed is amazing, but her jump is really floaty, and her V skill is like, it's tough to just throw it out. You really gotta stay on the ground, and I just think can't punish as hard as the other characters can, I guess. Like I said, I think she's just a weaker version of Birdie.
She really needs meter for damage and stuff like that. So, like, yeah, you have to play a strong footsie game, but some characters, they can just
damage,
make
I feel like you always gotta use EX legs constantly.
Yeah.
And you don't have the meter to do the super, right? Which is a great deterrent against a lot of things, because that thing is fast. And you can't jump cancel the super anymore. So she can't follow that up either. So let's talk about Nash. Why do you think Nash is the worst? Even though that's the character you played the most of the 3 days. You had a huge hard on for Nash, man. That's all you were playing. It was ridiculous.
His normals aren't that good. First of all, his walk speed is the biggest problem. If his walk speed was good, he'd be a much better character. Okay. But his walk speed is really bad. It makes it impossible to play the footsie game with them. To compensate, they give him all these command normals that move him forward, but they're all negative on block.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, even if you space them out right to at the tip, you're still not like quite at good frame advantage to continue pressure. So it feels like you have to play this far range game with his sonic booms, but his sonic booms have long startup, but fast recovery because they're commands now, right? They're commands not charged. But then you got to use the moonsault assault to sort of kind of get in here. But that thing is so kick? Yeah, they're so slow though, so you can like.
But it's safe on block though. It's safe on block.
Not all of them.
Oh, okay.
And then the EX version is garbage.
It's ass, so dude. You did that move so many times and got blown off for it. That move is ass.
It's ass.
It doesn't even track properly sometimes. It's funny.
He has no invincible reversals. He can't. So once he gets pressured, he's screwed. But that's kind of like his design intent because he's a rushdown based character.
It's funny that like his V skill is actually like his go-to poke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, his V skill is surprisingly good as
an attack, not as an absorb. That's funny, man.
It's like plus on frames. It's fast.
Yeah, you actually have to use it constantly.
It's really good as a poke and stuff like that. But like his like combo starter pokes are short range, so it's really hard. He has the most target combos and the most.
Yeah, he's got the most target combos too. He's an insane amount of target combos.
I think he's the only character of an actual light starter for a target combo.
Okay.
I don't think anybody else has a light starter, but I could be mistaken. But he has all these target combos, but some of them don't really have the range, right? Like that's the problem. Like his stand medium kick is good, but it doesn't have the range to get in there. So you try to play footsies and then you just get stuffed. And then his stand medium punch is also good. It's also a good target combo starter too, and a good combo starter in general. But the range isn't that good too. So it's really hard. You get out poked all the time. You just and your walk speed's so slow, and you don't have good defensive options. So it's like it's so tough. Bison's like his worst matchup too. Like it's just brutal. It is brutal. But his damage output and his mix up potential is good. Really good. But everyone had a different way of playing Nash. Like we couldn't quite figure out the optimal way to
He
play
was
Nash.
such a popular character, man. Everyone used Nash,
We
dude.
had Li Joe
On the
like
big boy cab,
Josh,
everyone was playing
Yen,
Nash, dude. Yeah, man. It was
Zen was using him. Like we had so many Nash players,
fucking
and we were
Nash
all
army.
spread.
And all you guys were all salty about him, too. You guys were all bitching and complaining, but that's all you guys wanted to play. It was like a love and hate relationship, man. It was good.
We were spreading all this.
You guys were all giving each other information. You guys were trying so hard to make that character good. That's funny, dude.
We couldn't even figure out his target combos. Like you guys watched
man.
the stream and combo.
It took us 2 days to find out all of his target combos.
We basically somehow someone told us like on the combo theme stream when he was going over the characters, like he laid out all the target combos of Nash. Nobody on the ground floor could figure out all of his target combos. We had to freaking ask Combo Fiend like every time we matched the team. Like Combo Fiend was very hard to find, but when we did,
yes, he was, like, and very
Combo
busy.
Fiend, what the heck is this target combo we saw?
Oh, I know, dude. Every time I saw Peter, every chance I get, I had to ask him a question, man. Yeah. So we both agree that Chun-Li is the worst.
Yeah.
So they need to buff Chun-Li, but nerf her jiggle physics.
There was a glitch on player 2's side of player apparently.
Please. Yeah. Okay. So let's keep this moving. What else was summarized?
Oh, the press. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Day 2.
Okay, so we're trying to record footage, and we're trying to be like respectful of the people because we got like this stupid tripod in there, and I don't want to like get it at the side angle because I'm trying to do breakdowns of each character. I'm gonna be working on that right away, guys. So I'm gonna do a breakdown of every character in Street Fighter V, and I recorded every single normal, crouching, standing, jumping, every variation, close, far, target combos, command normals, special moves, lights, medium, hards of every special move, EX versions, V trigger versions. I recorded absolutely everything, and the first day of trying to record that footage was pure hell. It was just. It was impossible, man.
Couldn't get it on day
one.
It
was impossible. And like, long story short, we got hookups to get into the VIP room for Capcom. So we get in there. They got like 4 cabs. It's like less cabs, but there's way less people, obviously. So we got our chance to stay on a cab for a while, right? And I was playing, there's just like, high press in there, right? VIP dudes or media dudes. And then I was playing against this one Spanish guy. And then I beat him with Ryu, pretty bad. And then he like comes up to me. He was like, I forgot what he said. Killer, were you there with me right when he came up to me the first time? He's like, you seem to know Street Fighter 5 pretty well. You've been playing for a while. And I'm like, yeah, I've been playing, since the first day of E3. And he's like, oh, I need you to teach me. So I like gave him a quick rundown. I think I was supposed to like talk to the Capcom rep, to understand the game. But he told me there was an editors tournament coming up on day 3 with all his other editor guys or something. So he needed me to teach him Ryu as much as possible. So he was asking like all these Street Fighter 4 combos did they work? And I'm like, no. I'm like, this is what you want to do. I'm like, you want to do crouching medium punch, into crouching heavy punch, into light tatsu, into super. And he's like, what? That works? So I'm like, yeah, dude, it works. So he's like testing it out, and like, me and Killy are trying to record footage on the other cab, and he's like yelling at me from the other cab. He's like, "It works!" And he's like, every time he does a call that I told him, keeping me like constant communication was what's going on, right? So this guy, he's just like super hyped because like all these calls I'm telling him it works, and he wants to win that editor's turn tomorrow, right? So me and Killy finish up with the rest of our footage, and then it was like 6:30, and we got kicked out of the VIP room. And then the next day, blah, 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 we get the finished rest of our footage finished. And then, like, randomly, like, in the middle of day 3, he, like, pokes me in the back. And he's like, I'm like, oh, it's the Spanish guy. I'm sorry I don't remember his name. So I'll just call him the Spanish because he's from Spain. Okay, he's from Spain. So anyways, he's like, he appears behind us and he's got a trophy. A Street Fighter 5 trophy that says editor champion or something like that. And he's like, thanks, man, you helped me win the tournament. And we're just dying, right? And he's just like, you helped teach me the technology. Dude, I was dying, man. I was laughing so hard. It was so random that he found us, like, on the floor. And then he disappeared and we never saw him again. Oh, man. That was definitely one of the highlights.
You changed history right there, man.
Super friendly guy. Oh, that was hilarious. We changed the course of the future. If we didn't get those hookups to get into that VIP room, We would have not ran into that guy. He would have not won the tournament, and the world would cease to exist.
Shout outs to Vanthi Bitney, by the way, for getting us back
Oh,
there.
yeah, she got the hookups in there. And then we tried to sneak into the VIP room day 3. I don't think we should go into specifics about it.
No.
Yeah, we should have. But we tried to get in there again. We failed miserably, by the way. I
But-
should have been like, dude, you know who the fuck I am? No.
VesperArcade, bitch.
Oh, fuck. They're like,
But-
who the fuck are you? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
But that led us into the Bison discovery.
Yes! That's funny too, man. If we didn't get kicked out of the VIP room on day 3, or not let in, I mean, then we wouldn't have discovered that whole Bison thing. So we're just finishing our footage, and we think, it's all good. So now we started just, messing around. We were doing stupid shit, like seeing what happens if you get 2 draws. So double KO twice in a row. Like,
Oh my God,
would you get
the
like
way-
another round? And well, first, there's people behind us, so we don't want to wait 99 seconds because people get super salty. So we did this whole launch codes idea. So my idea was we get 2 Bison players, and we both do the slide at the same time. So Killer would hold both joysticks down, and then I would like activate the fucking launch codes, like boom, And honestly, it was messed up too because when we were like setting it up to get us both each one round, we got a double KO by accident the first time, which was fucked up. We both did like a scissor kick or something. But anyways, yeah, we did the launch codes, and the game just goes draw game, and then you both lose. In case you guys are wondering,
Just
only
like
us
SF4.
would like test shit like that. But anyways, it was a long day, right? So anyways, sometime in between this, we were off the cab, and then one of the Capcom rep guys was behind me, and I'm like, yo, man, go ahead, go play. I said this to the Capcom reps, like, go play. And he's like, what is this game? And I'm like, he was just being sarcastic, right? So I was just talking shit to you. I was just like, I don't know, I heard some fighting game or some shit, right? So he gets on the cab, and I'm watching him, and he's just styling with Bison. He's doing like strings I haven't seen, and one thing in particular that he did was he did scissor kick into EX Hellfire, which is the move where Bison goes, what say you? And then the fucking 2 flames go on each side of him. That's the EX version. And I'm like, what the fuck, that links? I'm like, that can't be right. So then the guy pieces out and he disappears. You never see this guy again, okay? But I didn't think much of it. I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll just recreate this combo, right? So anyways, and then, yeah, he did the EX flame, and then, did he do, oh, no. That's all he did. That's all he did. That's what,
He did like Psycho Blast into like...
No.
head
He
stomps
just
or
did
something.
EX Flame. He just did EX Flame. That's what like put the seed in my head, right? So anyways, I get on the cab and I start trying to do this combo, and I just cannot do it. I tried. I'm like, which version of the scissor kick was it light, medium, or hard, right? And I keep trying to link EX Hellfire, and it just wouldn't link. So then I went on this crazy ass mission to find this clown. Where did he go? Couldn't find him on the floor. I went everywhere, dude. He probably was in the VIP lounge or something, right? So anyways, I start asking like every single person on the floor. I went to Nerd Josh,
LPN,
LPN, I went to LA Joe, I asked Ricky,
Justin.
Nobody
Ultra
knew, man. I
David,
told the
you even
same
asked Ultra
story
David.
over and over, and everyone was just like, what? Are you sure? You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. I went to Ultra David, and then no one knew, right? So it bugged the hell. I'm like, man, this is a mystery. I'm positive it worked, right? I'm not crazy. And then randomly, Peter is there.
Shows up,
Yeah, Peter's just chilling there with his arms crossed like this, like a bouncer, in front of the VIP lounge, right? So I'm like, Peter, man, blah, 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 you gotta tell me what this is, man. And he's like, yeah, Bison, he doesn't need the charge when he's buffering his special attacks in V-Trigger. And I'm like, what? And then I'm like, oh, so then I go back to the cab, and then I do activate V-Trigger, and I do light scissors with Bison, and then I press down, up, 2 punches, no charge. So EX Hellfire is charge down, up, 2 punches. But on V-Trigger, I just went down, up, 2 punches during the light scissor kicks. And all of a sudden, it just comes out. Like zero timing, and like seriously, an entire buffer window to do it. I can literally mash it out, and it all links. And then I'm like, dude, that explains that whole trailer thing. Because remember, I was trying to figure out that whole Psycho Blast, which when Bison does that sphere, that EX sphere, into the head stomp, EX head stomp. And I'm like, what is up with that? Some KOF shit, right? So it turns out you can, no charge, you can go EX special into EX special with Bison while his V trigger is activated. but you can't do the same EX move in a row. So I can't go Psycho Blast 3 times in a row, for example. So I literally did jumping hard punch, standing hard punch, cancel that, crouching medium punch, medium scissors into EX Psycho Blast, EX Hellfire, EX Head Stomp. And I can't tell you how much damage it did because it always KO'd when I did it. But I think I got some footage or something lying around there. But it's insane, dude. That adds insane comeback potential for Bison.
And you could do it on block.
And you can do it on block. It is crazy. You don't have to do scissor kick. You could do like a normal blast into EX Blast, for example. Yeah, man. Or normal Hellfire. It's just a special into EX, into EX, into EX. And so, like, if you land one scissor kick on somebody when your V-Trigger is activated and you got, like, 2 EX bars, man, like, you're going to do insane damage. Like, Bison is already crazy enough as it is. But with that, it just, you know what I mean? It's, like, no dispute. It's awesome.
Character in the game.
It's awesome. And I like that design on the V-Trigger. I like that. I want to bring... You know, I don't want all the V-Triggers to be the same. When I mean the same, I mean everyone is just as powerful. Because I like the idea that some V-Triggers are more powerful than others. The same reason why there's some Bison has 3 bars and Bird has 3 bars. But I do like the idea of the V-Triggers being robust as well, not plain Jane, and actually really change the character. Not just make Cammy pierce. Like, I like the idea that Bison becomes a rushdown like character during his V-Trigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it augments the playstyle.
Yeah, I like to change the meta during the match. That's what I want. I don't really care about it all being just as powerful.
Kind of like Killer Instinct.
Yeah. So yeah, and then I started relaying the message, right? And I was I'm trying to explain it to everybody, and I just remember Ultra there turned around, he's like, "What?" Right? And then we all started testing it out, and dude, that was during the last hour of E3.
Yeah.
So we're all panicking on the cab. I'm pretty sure Nerd Josh was like recording all this, and we're all trying to test this out on the cab last second. It was funny, man. Like, I told Justin to make sure to tell him, so the next time he plays Bison, got some crazy comeback potential. But that was a pretty nuts last hour of gameplay there, man. It was fun. Anything else you want to talk about before I close this video? Because we passed our 30-minute mark.
Oh, Kanye West randomly showing up on day 2.
Yeah, that was kind of messed up.
Yeah, Kanye West we were just playing, and then corner of my eye, I look up, and I'm like, is that Kanye West playing?
Yeah, dude,
like, there's people who are like taking pictures, and I'm like, what the?
He was super low profile, man. He was like in a hoodie, like super low profile, man. Yeah, that was pretty random, dude.
So random, and then like all I remember is the bodyguard shining a flashlight to kind of ruin people's pictures, but he shined it in my eye while I was playing, and I'm like, I can't see.
That's funny, man. That is funny, dude. It was such a pleasure meeting everybody, and there was a bunch of people that like introduced themselves to me, and they actually recognized me because of that podcast video. So it's a good thing I made it. It was really cool meeting a ton of players, man. There's like too many, like in particular, Catalyst from Event Hubs, because I appreciate the pass that he gave me for E3 in the first place. So I was really happy to thank him in person, and Peter as well for another pass for you.
Yes.
And it was great to thank him in person for that as well. And just, you know, a ton of people, man. Like Dream King, LA Joe, Justin, you know, whole EG team, all the pros, Gutex, of course, Ryan helping me around with hotel and all that. So, yeah, man, it was a blast, dude. It was crazy 3 days. But I need to cut this video as short as I can. So I'm letting you guys know now what I'm going to be doing here is I need to finish that Cassie Cage combo for MK, because I know you guys, all the MK guys, really want me to get that video out, and just this whole E3 really spun that out of control. So I need to get that Cassie Cage thing done. What I'm planning to do for Street Fighter V now is I'm going to do a character breakdown of every character, and I'll show you guys all the normals and specials and the general playstyle, so that when the beta comes out next month, you guys will have a complete understanding of what you're getting yourself into, so you don't waste your time learning the character. You already have an idea how it works. I'll even tell like some small combo stuff too, so that when the beta comes out, you guys can optimize your time and have as much fun as you can playing online. And speaking of that, I'm planning to get the stream up and running, so that when Street Fighter V is out, I'll be streaming all those days of the game as much as I can, and I'll try to book some time off work if I can, and so I can get that stream going for as long as possible. But yeah, I gotta reset my sleep schedule, man. I'm tired. So yeah, Kelly, anything else you want to talk about, man? I'm gonna close shop here.
Nope, that's pretty much it. Shoutouts to everyone we met at E3. Everyone was super friendly.
Everyone was so friendly, man. It was awesome, dude. It was awesome to meet everybody in person. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching this podcast, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.